Good evening once again, UNC family. I need your help on this one because I want them to hear it. You know it, and they know it too. The job of the haters and the naysayers will always be there. We'll rise above that. But you know the answer to the questions. When I ask you, who cares? You know the answer. When it comes to our school children, who cares? Listen, Barataria. A lot of them may be closing the refrigerator doors. A lot of them, the sideburns may be blocking the air. So let's really do it. When it comes to our school children, who cares? When it comes to securing our lives, who cares? When it comes to better health care, who cares? When it comes to better infrastructure, who cares? And that's why on April 28th, we are voting for and the UNC and the Coalition of Interest. That's right. You know, my good friend said on Saturday that we're on the cusp of creating history. And he's correct. He's very much correct. I don't know how we know that. Because you are here this evening. You see, history isn't changed by those who say that's the way things are. It's changed by those who say things will no longer be the way they are. Murder will no longer be an ordinary thing. Dead babies, poor health care. On April 28th, we know who matters and what matters most of all. Because who cares? Thank you so much. Hey, at this time, let me present one of our hard-working candidates. The minute he was given the green light, he's been on the ground. And I always refer to him as the George Clooney of politics, because we expect to get a hike in female voting in the area. Please, UNC family, Barataria, put your hands together and welcome our UNC candidate for St. Joseph, Devesh Maharaj.
When you
Good night, UNC family. Is St. Joseph in the house? So many of St. Joseph, like it have more St. Joseph here than Barataria. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Political leader of the United National Congress, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, Senior Counsel, other parties' executives, ladies and gentlemen. When I see this immense crowd here tonight, I get the feeling of great change coming. Great change coming, brothers and sisters, as I walk through the length and breadth of my constituency around West St. Joseph. The people are saying with one voice, time for a change. Time for a change. When Saddam walks through Barataria, time for a change. Throughout the country, people are saying, time for a change. But brothers and sisters, change from what? Change from what? Over the last few years, life has not been good for many. Many have suffered the effects of the crime scourge. Your homes have been turned into prisons. Your quality of life has decreased. The ills are many. Brothers and sisters, for the next 21 days, I urge you to get your hands on these documents. These are what are called your manifesto. How many of you all have seen this? Some of you all, not all. Contained in this document, brothers and sisters, is the blueprint of our plans for the next 5 years. When we hit government on the 28th of April, we are hitting the ground running. You want to know what our plans on crime? It's here. A manifesto is a short manifesto. Inside of here are 60 points. When they come at you, they have 60 points to answer every aspect of the action of crime. Brothers and sisters, what struck me as I was reading through this manifesto, the manifesto on crime, is a very important point, because first and foremost, brothers and sisters, throughout the world, everybody is looking after themselves. United States have decided to look after themselves. Europe have decided to look after themselves. Are we in Trinidad and Tobago going to look after yourselves? If whatever this government does, or any government does not make your life better, more productive, safer, that government is not worth holding on to. Let's look at one of the items in this manifesto. We are fully aware in the United States that President Trump has taken the position to deport criminal elements from his country. When I saw that, and I read an article recently, brothers and sisters, of a very renowned criminologist in Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Randy, what's his name, Persad. What he told us is that since 2023, this is what it says. We are going to perform a short-term assessment to identify the scale and involvement of illegal migrants in criminal activity. We are not going to sit down, as this government has done, fully aware of the existence of this criminal gang in Trinidad, and not do anything about it. We guarantee you, within a very short space of time, those people who have identified themselves as criminals and acting illegally in Trinidad and Tobago, and you have faced the scourge, that we are going to take immediate steps to deal with that situation. Throughout my constituency in St. Joseph Aranguez, I hear the cries. I hear the cries of poor farmers. They're missing their pump, they're missing their hose, they're missing their implements. They know who do it. They go to the police say there's not sufficient evidence. But it's happening. So we intend, brothers and sisters, in our manifesto, this is our promise to you. We are going to take immediate steps, brothers and sisters. In our other item of our manifesto, the criminal and justice reform. Criminal and justice reform. How many of you have been to the court and it takes years to complete matters? How many? You have a small case, it takes 6 years, 7 years. Our brother David Lee, who just emerged successful from his recent case, it took him 3 years, 2 months. 3 years, 2 months for his case to be completed. There's a particular case in this country involving the Piarco airport that to date, it's 23 years this case is going on. 23 years. The United National Congress, brothers and sisters, intends to take steps to make sure that your trial time is reduced. Whether you have a court case in land, a civil criminal case, that is going to be reduced. But we're not only dealing with the hard side of the law, brothers and sisters. We are also dealing with the soft side of the law. I want to give you an experience that we have had. Right now ongoing in a place called My Tower. Do we have anybody from My Tower here? My Tower is one of the highest points in my constituency on the mountain. It's traditionally a PNM stronghold, it is said. Right now, brothers and sisters, we have a small goal competition going on in the highest points of the constituency with 22 teams. 22 teams of 4 persons each per team. That's 88 players yesterday, today, and I'm inviting all of you. Anybody here has been to My Tower? Nobody? I want you to come to the highest point of the constituency for the final on Sunday. But you know what is the important thing about this? There are no sporting facilities in the area. So this small goal competition, brothers and sisters, is taking place where? On the road. On the road. 22 teams are taking part in a football tournament on the road. The United National Congress has promised the people of My Tower that when we get into office, in the shortest possible time, we will be delivering a sporting facility for them on the heights in My Tower. And that accords, brothers and sisters, with our manifesto on criminal and civil justice reform. We agree that not all children cater to academics. Not all cater to academics. Some cater to sport. Some cater to vocational. Some cater to woodworking. We intend in the United National Congress to embrace everybody, brothers and sisters, and we are going to provide for all of Trinidad and Tobago, not just one, all of Trinidad and Tobago. Because brothers and sisters, when UNC win, I have so much more to talk to you about, but I see my time as rapidly approaching, and they have warned me that if I continue here, they are going to raise the volume on me and cut me off. So let me cut while it's early. Thank you, brothers and sisters. You have been a wonderful audience.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinidad wins. Everybody wins.
Kamla Persad-Bissessar was the best prime minister this country ever saw. Kamla Persad-Bissessar led with heart and soul. Kamla cares about the children. Children's Hospital, Children Life Fund, Children's Authority, Children in Education, PAN in schools, 106 schools, early childhood centers, sport, special camps for differently abled, increased grants for autism. Kamla cares. She did it once and she shall do it again. I walk the length and breadth of this country, and everywhere I go, people whining down the window. Douglas, yellow is the code. Douglas, we come in. Douglas, Kamla, Douglas, UNC, Douglas, coalition. Because the people have realized that Kamla cares and the other one does not even muster. He knows he's out of his depth. He cannot speak about anything he did because everything he did flopped. Everything he did failed. He's a total failure, and Philip Edward Alexander will beat Stuart Richard Young in Port of Spain. All Trinbagonians, all races, all ethnicities, all types, man, woman, child, they say it and say it with me, yellow is the code. Because the UNC is ready for government. Our candidates are the best. Our team is the best and the brightest. We have doctors, surgeons, specialists, teachers, professors, workers, engineers. We have the brightest minds in Trinidad and Tobago gathered. And the man coming to speak to you now is one of the brightest young attorneys in Trinidad and Tobago. He brings fear into the face of Rowley. Stuart Richard Young cannot answer him. Cannot debate him. He is the Member of Parliament and the next Member of Parliament for He is the Member of Parliament and the next Member of Parliament for Barataria, St. Juan. Please welcome Saddam Hosein.
Bringing hope into the community. Coming to give us what we really need. Peace and love and hope and prosperity. Building on the UNC legacy. Love. Come together and give thanks and praise. It's only love.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. UNC Massive. Barataria Sadwan. Welcome the next Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Kamla Persad-Bissessar of Senior Council. You look lovely in your numbers. The entire Himalaya Club is packed out. I am seeing people all the way to the gate. The UNC is ready. We are energized. And when the UNC wins, when the UNC Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my brothers and sisters. Tonight, before I begin, I want to express my gratitude. Tonight, I want to express gratitude and thanks for my political career, and I owe that to none other than Kamla Persad-Bissessar. But tonight I also want to say thank you to two persons. Two persons who have molded me into the individual that I am. Two persons who come from very humble beginnings and work very hard to ensure that I was successful. My mother and my father, who are in the audience. And I want to publicly thank them for molding me into the individual that I am today. But Trinidad and Tobago, we are at the crossroads of history. We are about to make one of the most critical and important decisions in our lives. On April 28th, we will determine the future of Trinidad and Tobago. And on April 28th, you must protect Trinidad and Tobago from the PNM and elect a UNC government into office. You must ensure that you get rid of Stuart Richard Young and never let him see the office of Prime Minister ever again. Ever again. We have a leader who cares. We have a compassionate leader. We have Kamla Persad-Bissessar. She has assembled a team of candidates who will take us into government to ensure that Trinidad and Tobago prosper. For far too long, we have suffered. We will ensure that Trinidad and Tobago prosper once again under her leadership. But tonight, I have some very critical issues to raise with you. Tonight, I am informed, and you would have seen the videos coming out of the maximum security prison, where members of the prison service are in fear because prisoners were killing each other recently. Could you imagine that? There was a murder in the prison. And what Marvin Gonzalez had to say about that? Absolutely nothing. Tonight, I want to acknowledge the presence of the General Secretary of the Prisons Officers Association of Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Lester Logie. I want to acknowledge him here tonight. He has written to the minister and he has not gotten a response since the 25th of March, 2025. Imagine they are complaining that the maximum security prison does not even have a generator. If current cuts off there, it is pitch dark. You cannot see nothing, putting prisoners and prison officers' life at risk. Will you vote for that? The prison is on the brink of collapse. The infrastructure is failing. We will get out the PNM and we will fix the criminal justice system. We will do that. Look, I have in my possession an OSHA report dated the 28th of March 2025, which says that the bulletproof and star-proof vests issued to prison officers were past their expiration date. This is from OSHA. This is the condition that the PNM has our law enforcement officers in. Will you protect the law enforcement officers? Will you ensure that you put a government there to take care of your national security? We must vote them out, and we must vote them out resoundingly. And have a fella in a red jersey running around all over Barataria, Sawa. All over. The man talk about 4 times in the parliament since he there. Today, I can proudly say that I spoke on over 63 debates in the parliament. Over 63 debates in the last 5 years. And I spoke on those debates to defend the interests of the people of Trinidad and Tobago and my constituents, because I fought hard together with the political leader against property tax. You know what this man going in the parliament and saying? That the property tax is a real good thing, and he vexed that we want to ask the tax. Look, the Hansard in my hand. When he come by a gate, I want earlier to ask him about the property tax. You must run him. Run him out of town. Run him out. Run him out. Run him out. And it had 3 other persons trying to fight me. But on April 28th, this seat is coming home to the United National Congress. The fella in the red jersey, he named Yunus. Yunus, the fella name. But tonight, we don't want to talk about he. We want to talk about the ills of the PNM. You remember recently I raised a particular issue involving fare tickets with Plibdeco? You all remember that? Where they were taking your taxpayers' money to fund the PNM? Well, listen. I get our next one. I get our next one. This time, it is from Swim Call. It is from Swim Call. I have a memorandum dated the 5th of February 2024 from the Manager of Finance, from the CEO to the Manager of Finance. The payee, the People's National Movement, sum $22,500, the purchase of 15 tickets to attend the PNM Fete. Look at here in black and white. But tonight, I am reliably informed that they are victimizing the whistleblowers at Plibdeco and Swim Call. We call on them to stop that nonsense. A UNC government will protect those persons. Come forward and give us the information. Do not be afraid of the PNM and their dirty games and their victimization. Do not be afraid of the PNM. Do not be afraid. Then I have another issue I want to raise with you that deals with the governance and how your monies are being spent. There's a company called the Rural Development Company. And that company is in charge of box train and roads and so on. There's 3 particular companies that I want to focus here tonight. 3 companies. One company, father, the 2 sons and the daughter-in-law. They set up 3 companies. The companies are 1, Noah Distribution Limited, I.A.N Limited, and Sycon Development Limited. Of these 3 companies coming out of the RDC, where all of the family members are directors of those companies, several of the family members. Do you know how much those 3 companies got in contracts? $70 million. $70 million. Could you imagine that? $70 million coming out of the RDC. And I want to focus on one particular company. There's one company called Noah Distribution Limited. I have the company's documents in my hand, in my possession. This company alone was given the contract of 5 contracts in the sum of $5.7 million. The directors are one called Stephanie Abraham. And when you look, I think that's the daughter-in-law. And when you look at the main area of business activity, this company got 5 contracts: retaining wall, road and drainage in Kirep, refurbishment works at a play park on 10th Avenue, Aruka, road and drainage at George Street, Sans Souci, drain upgrades work at 58 to 52 Celestine Trace, Maraval. You know what is the main area of business of this company? Distribution services, including restaurant. You hear that? A restaurant company, a company set up to deal in restaurant, building box train in Sans Souci. Miss Abraham is from Bayshore Towers. I wonder if she knows where Sans Souci is. And this is what is taking place with your taxpayers' dollars. Will you vote for that? Will you vote for that? On April 28th, when the UNC wins. Thank you. Over the last 5 years, I have had the distinct pleasure and privilege of serving the good people of Barataria, San Juan. I thank you for your love and your support over the 5 years. I thank you. And I brought another document with me today. When I entered the screening committee of the UNC for the seat of Barataria, San Juan, I took this with me. This year, over the last 5 years, is not my achievement only, but the achievement of the people of Barataria, San Juan. We have ensured that we have worked diligently. We have steered this constituency through COVID, providing food support. support with respect to lobbying government services. There was one particular area, 2nd Street in Barataria, did not have water for 10 years. I ensured that I advocated on behalf of the people so that that line was changed and the people of 2nd Street, Barataria has water. On Sultan Lane, we spent days and nights in the flooding in El Socorro South, and that wicked Rohan Sinanan will never give us the flood pump. It will take our UNC government to ensure that those flood pumps are properly working to bring relief to the people of El Socorro South. My people of Barataria, San Juan, I love you and I want you to show me the love on April 28th. I want you to show the UNC the love on April 28th. I want you to show the next Prime Minister the love of Barataria Sawa on April 28th, because when the UNC wins, everybody wins. And we are not only going for the next 5 years, but we will go into government for the next how many of our years we can be there, because we need to get rid of the PNM. When the UNC wins, everybody wins. I thank you, my brothers and sisters. I thank you.
Please, another round of applause for our host this evening, Barataria San Juan's very own Saddam Hosein. Please, a round of applause again. Could the drivers of PBJ 7525, that's PBJ 7525, HDM 6991, HDM 6991, and TEA 5198, that's TEA 5198, please remove your vehicles. You're blocking the entrance, please. Remove your vehicles. Thank you. Oh yes, massive crowd, massive crowd. Give yourself a round of applause, massive crowd. You know, before we had Philip Will Fix It, let me say good evening to the PEP political leader. We had a lady, and to this day we all know when anything goes wrong, when things are not right, you just have to say the name Miss John. You spoke to Miss John, you told Miss John, you asked Miss John, that's all. Wherever there's a problem, she's never there to compound it, she's never there to focus on it, but she's there to fix it. And that's why come April 28th, when the UNC forms the government, we're going to have Sister John. So please, put your hands together and make some noise for the UNC Couva North candidate, Miss Jearlean John, our deputy political leader.
Say we're winning right now, then we get that trophy to what we living right now. Cause I'm winning right now, yeah. And I'm chilling right now.
Thank you. UNC. We are winning right now. Thank you. Good evening to the incoming Prime Minister, Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar of Senior Council. Fellow candidates, activists, supporters, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of Trinidad and Tobago locked on the various media, welcome to the biggest, baddest, boldest political party in the Caribbean, the United National Congress. Welcome. As we march to victory, UNC, something is happening. The ground is ready to take us to a great victory. So it ain't matter what they say, it ain't matter what they do, nothing will stop this great UNC victory. Nothing. Turn to the person next to you and say, yellow is the code. Yellow is the code. Everywhere you go, you are hearing the same thing. We are fed up of the PNM. We want change. We must have change. But do not take it for granted, because there are those on the other side who know how much money, how much millions fill up a carry box. They will be waiting on election day to put money in T-shirts to give to vulnerable youths, to take them to the polling booth. UNC, do not fall for that. Be alert. They will try to intimidate you or discourage you from going out and voting for the change you desperately need, the change you desperately deserve. We cannot allow that. As the incoming Prime Minister has told us, stay home, take a holiday on April 28th, because April 28th is Freedom Day. It will be Judgment Day for the PNM. April 20th is Freedom Day. Many are telling us they want to join. People are asking me how to become a UNC official. I said, listen, you don't have to be a UNC official to do something. Just do something. Do anything. You go and vote out the PNM. Get involved. Take the day off and make April 28th Freedom Day. Make a plan when you leave here. It is never too early to plan, because this needs all of us on the ground. You go and vote as soon as the polls open. Then go and get your family and take them to vote. Get out your friends. Get out your neighbors. Do not be too bashful. That PNM woman over there who cussing the UNC, she too voted for the UNC in this cycle. Everybody voted for the UNC. I just heard, somebody sent to me, breaking news. On TV6, they just had a poll about how you feel about the elections. 46% said UNC, 15% said PNM. That is what is showing up in their tracking polls. Rowley polling at 8% and Stuart Young polling below the white line in the road. They're gone. UNC, we are winning. We are winning. Don't matter what they say. We don't care what they do. They could say what they want about our leader. They could say what they want about us. We are going to beat them on the 28th of April. Become a driver. Pick up people. Take them to the polling booth. Become a street captain. Get out everybody on your street. Tell them it is Freedom Day. And we are going to win. We don't care what they say. Think about how they have lied to you for 10 years and vote. Think about how they have taken you for a fool for 10 years and vote. Think about how they took away your laptop and your jobs at Petrotrin. You go and vote. Remember how they insulted you and provoked you by raising the price of fuel 4 times. Go and vote. Vote to ensure that they will never tell you that you are greedy, not needy. Vote for that. Vote against that. Vote with a vengeance that they gave you 4% and they took 47%. And vote for justice. Justice for the 4 divers. Vote for 4-year-old Kylie Maloney, killed in a bed in Sandy Grande. Vote for 9-year-old Jomo, killed while playing in a field in Enterprise. You vote for Anita Diaz, killed in a mother's arm while combing her hair. And you vote for Ezekiel, killed murdered that is, while riding his bike to the parlor. Let's vote for them. Trinidad and Tobago, go out and vote for your freedom. UNC, am I hearing you? Go and vote for change. Go and vote for laptop. Vote for health care. Vote for the youths who have lost their way. Vote against the cruel 4%. Vote for jobs, jobs, jobs. Vote for your sanity. Vote for safety and security. TNT, vote for change. Bear in mind that Rowley has not gone anywhere. It is a tag team, an axis of pain, heartache, selfishness, greed, and corruption. CPAP for you, but 23 million for Alwari. 500 billion spent and you ain't get none. You have not seen anything that has bettered your life. The PNM's philosophy, their policy is that whatever they do should enable the rich to get richer. You know what is the UNC's? The UNC is a rising tide would raise every boat. You and you and you and you. Everybody. When UNC wins, everybody win. Everybody win. You and you and you and you. Supporters of the PNM, what are you voting for? You do not have the leader that you wanted. If they had allowed you to vote, today Stuart Young would not have been any kind of so-called pop-up 2x4 prime minister. I hear you. You don't have the leader you wanted. And Faris Alwari said the glass ceiling has been broken. So vote for Kamla Persad-Bissessar. She is the leader we need. She's the leader we need. Understand? PNM supporters, as I said, the glass ceiling has been broken. I want to thank the United National Congress Screening Committee and the honorable political leader for entrusting me with the constituency of Couva North. Leader, it's a UNC fortress. People have been asking me, is anyone going to split votes? Nobody has split no vote anywhere. All right, because you are going to go out, whether in Barataria, San Juan, in Tunapuna, in St. Joseph, in La Hoqueta Talparo, in Toko Sandy Grande, in Moruga Tableland, and you are going to cast that vote solidly for the United National Congress. You're going to cast it for change, and you're going to cast it for your freedom, for your freedom. Your welcome, Couva North, was touching and heartfelt. You're kind and you're good. You are good UNC people. You are great citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and I cannot wait to work with you. Thank you so much. Their message too is we want change. They didn't ask a big contract. They said, listen, we just need a box train because it floods here in Cali Bay when it rains. I said, well, Kamla is the box train queen. She's going to give box train. She's going to give box train in the Rukunkutunkung. Kamla will give box train. No more flood. We need to vote for Kamla Persad-Bissessar. They said they need a regular supply of water, just as they had from 2010 to 2015. They asked for a community center to be restored for the youths. They asked for the focus to be placed on the youths also. So, Barataria San Juan, tonight I ask, what is so hard in ensuring that people's homes, something they have sacrificed and worked hard for, don't wash away when the rain sets up? Ask yourself, where is Stuart Young's consciousness? If he has any concept of the heartache, the suffering of people like Tessa from San Rafael, whose house is elevated but floods up to 4 feet when it rains. The mother with tears in her eyes in Cali Bay, who said, help the youths. The young woman whose husband died during COVID. Her little son walked with me all the way. It took Stuart Young 10 years, a general election and a position for which he's patently unsuitable for, unfit for, to know that $500 just buying $200 worth for a family. He has just realized that rice gone up. Stuart Young said flour gone up. Stuart Young told us in astonishment, saltfish gone up. Maybe it's because all the time Stuart Young saltfish was free. They look done. They look done. They looked on while he suffered. I'm telling you about the rich. Got richer. How are they going to fix anything? How are they going to fix Councillor Kussi and the little son? Nesheki, his father was Rishi Nagasar, one of the 4 divers who perished in the pipeline. On Friday evening after my walk, I went to visit little Nesheki because he had his 6th birthday. What happened? When the father was alive, Mr. Nagasar, he celebrated his son's birthday every month. So the son's birthday, every month on the 4th, he celebrated his birthday. So Nishiki had 12 birthdays every single year. Now you tell me, maybe in hindsight he was trying to make up for the fact that he was not going to be here. Last Friday as his mother celebrated him, I mean, this child, his father will never return. These are everyday stories of our people going about their business, They expect people in power to be responsible, to care, to act when the moment calls for action. On the 28th of April, we vote for justice for Nishiki. We vote for no property tax. We vote for petrol train. We vote for hospital. We vote for water for all. We vote for our sanity. We vote for dignity. We vote solidly as in 99%. We vote for freedom. We vote for freedom. We vote for freedom. We vote for KPB and the UNC. Because when UNC wins, everybody wins. UNC be vigilant. UNC be vigilant. UNC be vigilant. Be vigilant and get to work. You know some are actively working against us to secure a win for the destructive and cruel PNM government. But UNC, if God be for you, if God be for you, if God be for you, who can be against you? Who can be against you? So keep your feet on the ground, because the ground will carry us to a great victory on the 28th of April. Keep your feet on the ground. The 28th of April is Judgment Day. You keep hope alive, United National Congress. I thank you and I love you. Thank you very much.
Mad something. Hey, follow me over and sing now. Hey, upset.
The PNM has Trinidad and Tobago upside down. The PNM is the only organization that promotes dunce to the front of the class. The PNM is the only organization that the more dotish you are, the higher you rise. And it shows when Stuart Richard Young, I say to Stuart Richard Young, talk, boy, talk, because the more you talk is the more vote UNC gets and the coalition. Standing there, just in the front row, I counted 75 distinctions at O level, 54 distinctions at A level, 6 scholarship winners, 5 first in class, doctor, lawyer, and then there's Kamla. Kamla Persad-Bissessar was top in her class at primary school. Kamla Persad-Bissessar was top in her class at secondary school every single year. Kamla Persad-Bissessar was the top of the class in Mona in Jamaica. Kamla Persad-Bissessar was the top of a law class. Kamla Persad-Bissessar was the top of a master's class. Kamla Persad-Bissessar is the top of all the class. And imagine the PNM dunce called Stuart Richard Young, who daddy had to take him through primary school. Daddy had to help him in secondary school. Daddy get him through law school in England. We're not sure how he get through. Daddy put him on a commission of inquiry when he ran. Daddy put him in the PNM. Daddy make him a minister. Daddy protect him from Kamla and Saddam and Rudal Muniral. Daddy help him be selected prime minister. Well, Stuart Richard Young, Daddy can help you on the April 28th because all the people coming for you. This country, the blood is flowing like never before because of the incompetence of the PNM. And coming to let you know the pain of the people, the pain that Kamla feels, the pain that the UNC government understands, and from day one, they are going to fix it with Roger Alexander, with national security, with the cabinet, with the National Security Council, with borders, with ministries, with allocation to protect you. A man who can sing it like no one, a UNC soldier coming to sing to you. Bring on, Squeezy, Rankin.
Yeah. On April 28th, when the UNC win, everybody wins. I see right now.
UN
Everybody! This is a show for Calypso. We want everybody know the PNM have to go, and the people say so. Cause we don't know how to cope at the end of our rope. As we slip and we slope, we can still find some hope in Kamla. Yep. Yeah, we voting for Kamla. Everybody say Kamla. Cause we voting for Kamla. Everybody win. Kamla. Plenty progress with Kamla. Yes, we voting for Kamla. Everybody say Kamla. Hey, hey, you already know Trinidad and Tobago, a beautiful paradise. But it's 10 years now we blind. Too much murders in the land, robberies and home invasion. The PNM was a mistake. So on April 28th, who we voted?
We voted for Kamla.
Who we voted?
We voted for Kamla.
Everybody say Kamla. On the 28th of April, who we voted? Kamla. Everybody.
We voted for Kamla.
What's she bringing? Yes, we voted for Kamla. Lion. Everybody say Kamla. Hey, every vote for UNC means peace and prosperity and a safer TNT so we can protect my family. Remember when UNC win, is everybody win. Who will ask all the tax and give the children laptops is Kamla. On April 28th, as we voted for Kamla, let's return to better days. As we progress with Kamla. Everybody, yes, we voted for Kamla. By the rising sun, Kamla. Everybody,
yes, we voted for Kamla.
Philip, yes, we voted for Kamla. Everybody, yeah, we voted for Kamla. When UNC wins, everybody wins.
Yeah, we voted for Kamla.
Who we voted?
Yeah, we voted for Kamla.
We voted. We voted. We voted.
Kamla.
I see it. I see. Come on, come on, this is now. Kamla. Yes, we voted for Kamla. Yes, we voted for Kamla. Everybody, yes, we voted for Kamla. Hey, Kamla. Yes, we voted for Kamla. Yes, we voted for Kamla. Yes, we voted for. Remember, on April 28th. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, take them. When we go to the polls, put your X next to the rising sun. Because when UNC win,
everybody wins.
Oh yes, a round of applause one more time for the man Squeezy Rankin. Well, we're at that point where we'll ask everyone to stand, and of course, everyone knows the answers, whether UNC, PNM, you know the answer. It's quite simple. And I'll ask my good friend here to help me. Anil, who's that person that is going to make sure that programs and policies are in place for the most vulnerable?
Kamla.
Who's that person that is going to make sure that our children do not fall through the cracks?
Kamla.
Who's that person that is going to make sure that we're not just going to be sitting ducks in a home, that we'll have a fighting chance against criminals?
Kamla.
Then it's quite simple. Barataria, Himalaya Club, UNC family, come April 28th. Who's going to be the Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago?
Please welcome the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the next Member of Parliament for Barataria, the former Prime Minister, the next Prime Minister, Kamla Persad-Bissessar.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinidad wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Vote for peace. Vote for love. Vote for hope. Vote for change. When UNC wins, everybody wins.
evening. I can see it. I can smell it. I can taste it. The UNC will win on April 28th to form the next government. All my colleagues seated here, executive members, local government councillors, activists, candidates, welcome. And let us thank Saddam for hosting this energetic meeting. Our outgoing MP and new MP for Barataria, Salman. Give a round of applause. I thank the powerful speakers who came before me. And I say, when UNC wins, and I say, roger that. When UNC wins, everybody wins, roger that. Good night to all of you. Some people say, they tell you I am not voting. Because no matter who is there, they say they have the same struggles every day to feed and take care of their families. Some persons really believe this, and some others use this really as a wall to prevent further interrogation of their views or biases when confronted with people like you out in the field and campaigning, and when confronted about the facts, the truth, the reality about the UNC, they say, listen, I'm not voting. Either way, I want to take a moment to talk to you directly, because you put in who you put in government will determine how much money you have in your pockets. It will determine at the end of the month how much you have to spend on your families. It will determine the quality of life for you and your loved ones. Either way, let's take a moment. If you have never voted before, or you started giving up on voting, I want you to take the time out to listen to the reality of why it is important to choose your leaders and next government very wisely. All of what I'm about to say this evening is to help you see that we can make a positive change over the next 5 years for you and for every other citizen of this country. Because our promise this election is, as we say all the time, when UNC wins, everybody wins. And I got a new phrase tonight, roger that, thank you. If you look at our newspapers, you see names like Kevin Kyle spring up, Anika Guerra, Faith Peterkin, Ariana Peterkin, Shane Peterkin, Tiffany Peterkin, Andrea Lalan, Jaden Lalshan, Andrea Bharat, Ashanti Riley, Jamal Modest, Ezekiel Parry. Remember these names. I repeat these names: Kevin Kyle, Anika Guerra, Faith Peterkin, Ariana Peterkin, Andrea Lalan, and the other name is Tiffany Peterkin, Jaden Lalshan, Andrea Barrett, Ashani Riley, Jomel Modest, Ezekiel. What are these? These are innocent children gone. You all would have seen their photos in the newspapers, on social media, and of course on TV. These are children that were too beautiful for words. Beautiful children gone, zipped in body bags. Remember that. Many citizens were inconsolable at the sight. As a mother, as a grandmother, as a parent, this brutality pierced me and many others. We all grieved. Pain happens to humans. The families don't know about us. They don't know most of us. but I know that we hurt along with them. Many people were raging mad. They could hardly contain themselves, but they were silenced from the eat of food oligarchy to which this government panders. Not a word. Was it because these children came from a human background and a humble background? So they were completely ignored by this captured government and the groveling oligarchy. Not a word from them. Not a word about the deaths of these poor children from the wannabe elites and self-serving fake businessmen who grovel for contracts, state briefs, rents, and national awards, whilst at the same time they pontificate against workers getting 10% and back pay. Our country has been paralyzed over the last 10 years. This is our country where tens of thousands of parents make personal sacrifices to give their children a fighting chance. And despite their immense sacrifices, many deserving and qualified citizens lose opportunities, and they lose opportunities to lazy, unqualified Nepo babies whose daddy's money and daddy's name get them to parachute from the top. That's what they do. Daddy's name and daddy's money. Only the PNM MPs, senators, and the PNM financiers, and the PNM pop-up parties. Well, now tonight I heard someone call Stuart Young a pop-up prime minister as well. A lot of popping up going on at this time. Many of these fake elites and their families, they see, hear, and they feel no pain. And I'll tell you this. We talked some time ago about using doctors, and we have many doctors who are unemployed, that we could utilize doctors to help our senior citizens by having home visits. When you are so out of touch, Stuart's answer to having doctors do home visits, was he going to send virtual doctors? That is because he's coming from a position of privilege. How many grannies, Ajis, Aja, Grandpa, how many of them have devices? How many of them have access to the internet? Looking for school children, don't have the laptops, don't have the devices. But his answer, because we talk about using doctors to help our elderly, he wants to come one more than that, using virtual doctors. Stuarty, that will never work, because not even the children have access to the Wi-Fi, to the internet, and to the laptops, because you took that all away. So where is Granny, Aji, Aja, Grandpa? Where are they going to get this access to your virtual doctors? I ask you to reconsider, so tomorrow you'll come back to answer, and it's good news, huh? Because it means they're listening to everything we have to say. So they are so insulated by 10-ply money and power from political office. For the past decade, this government has taken every measure to make the rich richer and to make the poor poorer. All their policies have been to the disadvantage of the working man and of the working poor man. Then we see they don't know the rage people feel is because everyone knows that this government has been captured by the fake elites and the groveling oligarchy. Under this government, some members of the fake elite, funded by narco money, have embedded into parts of the economy, and they're fueling crime. A large portion of our economy, mainly the underground economy, is financed by what? Drug money. Trinidad and Tobago's economy has become awash with drug money. And you know, only what that does is to fuel violent crime. Only the ignorant refuse to see it. This narco-funded crime is an inflictor of great pain in our country. A whole nation, I tell you, is being kept awake not by noise, but by thick and dense pain. How can anyone living in our country not honestly believe that the only function of this government is to be handmaidens to Stuart and his daddy's financiers and fake eater food elites? I said the only function of this Stuart government is not to function. That is a fact. When will our dreaming beautiful children stop ending up in body bags? Many of you listening may not care. Many of you may not care because you say it's not my child, it is not my relative. But be warned that today the rain is falling on the home of other parents of these deceased children. But tomorrow the rain will be falling on you. Remember that. I do not understand how Stuart Young and his daddy and their financiers all live with themselves, buying more body bags instead of book bags for children. I don't understand it. This is a government totally detached from reality. The pain and hardship on the ground is real. This is a government, I say, totally detached. Things are good for Young and the financiers. For them, there is no forex crisis. For them, there is no unemployment. For them, there is no education crisis. For them, there is no water crisis. Because you see, they, on the other side, are completely out of touch. They're living in a bubble at the Hyatt. They're living totally detached in a bubble at the Hyatt. They don't take real people into account at all. Not your experiences, not your points of view, not your hopes or dreams. This government named wicked and put forward wicked policies. Ram them down our throats and oppression down your throats. They didn't think twice about the pain and the hardship and the suffering that they've been causing. Any government you choose must put your interests first. Any government you choose must prioritize their interests, yours. That is why I'm asking you to vote for the UNC and the coalition of interest on April 28th. And then you ask me, well then why vote for you and the UNC and the coalition of interest? Why? Let me give you some reasons tonight. There will be more to come. As your leader, and as a national leader, and as a leader of the coalition of interest, we represent all people equally and fairly. I will not be controlled by anyone. I will not be controlled by any group. I will not promote any singular agenda at the expense of other sectors of our society. I always promote the well-being of all the beautiful people of our land with love and commitment. I participate in every aspect of a multicultural society. I respect the right of any individual who chooses not to participate in accordance with their own views. I respect that. While there will always be differences in any society, I believe we must always have free speech, autonomy over our bodies, and control over our possessions. And as I move on, I say, while we believe in many different things, I remember Morgan Job telling us that see the grace of God in every face, not race. Late Morgan Job, who sat with me in the parliament, he wrote a book, and he would peddle that book. He would try to sell that book, a man of great wisdom. Let's give him, the late Morgan Job, a round of applause. Tonight, I reaffirm my faith in the rule of law. I reaffirm my faith in democracy. I reaffirm my faith in traditional family values. And I reaffirm my faith in God. I always say, put God in front and walk behind. And then you will have nothing to fear. As a leader of the UNC and our coalition of interests, and as a national leader, I have a track record of people-centered delivery. And we show everyone tolerance, love, empathy, forgiveness, and compassion without fear or favor. As leader of the UNC, as leader of the coalition of interests, I say we show love, compassion, forgiveness, and tolerance to everyone. Secondly, you may ask why vote for the UNC and the candidates of the coalition of interests. I'll tell you another reason why. The UNC is a cosmopolitan party of all creeds, of all classes, of all regions, of all ethnicities, and of all cultures. Our great party is open to all people from all walks of life, and everyone's beliefs, faiths, morals, and values are equally respected and are equally important. There is no room for intolerance and extreme behavior of any type in the UNC, in the coalition of interests, and in our country. Our UNC and coalition of interests will bring an end to the pain and horror. We will make happiness a social norm. Together, the UNC and the coalition of interests will fix Trinidad and Tobago. Together. Why can we not be a happy place? You know, in every good book, in every good film, in every good song, in every good relationship, there is always happiness. So our beloved country can be a happy place. This is what our UNC and coalition of interests is all about. I tell you again, we always talk family values. Because family values are trust, warmth, and love. Because family values, I say, as we know in our UNC, is fearlessness. We call a spade is a spade. And tonight when JJ is saying, do not be afraid of your opponents. Do not be afraid of the PNM. Never, ever be afraid. Because we stand for fearlessness and we stand up for what is right. So when the country is failing, we say it. We've been saying it inside the parliament, outside the parliament, and we repeat that to you as often as we can. Do not be afraid. You know why? Because a big bad UNC is going to form the next government. We will protect you. Do not be afraid. We will protect you. We don't bawl and cry inside and then come outside and smile. We are not afraid to speak our minds. In our party, we are not there for media ratings. We are not there to be secretly wooed and desired by editors. We in our party take advice from everyday people. You know that. We've been having the consultations, we've been having the town halls. We take your advice, we listen to you and then lead. We listen and then we lead. So, in our party, we are not here because we feel we own this country. We are in our party because we see ourselves as guardians, as protectors, as servants, not as owners. I make that clear. We're a proper and extremely organized political party. And so every time they mention the UNC, I want you to go check out our website, check out our Facebook. You go check out my Facebook page too to keep up to date. And you'll see the plans that we have for every single citizen to win. Every time they mention the UNC, I want you to remember and keep in your mind and in your heart that when the UNC wins, everybody wins. Tonight I have some more plans that I would like to share with you. And these come for things that will touch and affect your life and improve the quality of your life. When the UNC wins, affordable home ownership wins. One of the main issues, Mr. Leroy Batiste and Madam President of the PSA, in our consultations and discussions with them, they brought up the issue of affordable home ownership. We have 2 and 3 generations of a family living in the same house, living in the same apartment, sleeping on floors because the price of land and houses is out of reach. We must make quality housing more affordable and accessible to young people. Today I'm told that our opponents, the PNM, granted over $300 million in contracts in the middle of an election season, on the eve of an election, $300 million in contracts to build houses on the San Fernando waterfront. Who are those houses for? Who can afford that land? That land should be kept for the people of Trinidad and Tobago, for industrial and manufacturing, other kinds of development. But they want to give $300 million contracts. Well, when we get in there, we will find a way to terminate those contracts. This is an election time. Don't be handing out all this money. Saddam told you about our restaurant billing box rail. All kinds of crazy things are happening in these few last weeks. For 10 years, they couldn't do anything. And now it's political gimmickry, bribery, and everything else that you could ever imagine. So I say we must make quality housing more affordable and accessible to people. We will begin consultations further. There are several lawyers on my team, as you know. We will begin consultations with the legal fraternity. Some of my lawyers may not like it, but I do believe it is important. We will have consultations with the legal fraternity on the issue of allowing lawyers to advertise. Let lawyers advertise. You know why? It's the same eater food lawyers up there. Don't want the younger, bright lawyers to come up. Every case you see the eater food lawyers is the same old, same old, same old. But you cannot advertise. They get advertised in a different way because they give them the $1 million briefs and the media writes them up in every one of those big cases. Not true, Devesh? Very true. Saddam, it's true. They write them up, and so they got a different kind of advertising. Of course, there will be regulations in the way it can be done. So I'm saying, if we do this and allow the lawyers to advertise, again under regulated advertising, it will help the young lawyers, but you know more important, it will drive down the costs of hiring lawyers. It will increase competition, help the young lawyers. For home ownership, you know, you have to do something called conveyancing, lawyer must sign that. Again, it will bring down the costs of all that work. Further, the UNC will work to create a single umbrella, a single entity to process approvals for land development or building construction applications. We'll bring down the designated units from fire, water, T&Tech, town and country planning, health, and the regional corporations under a single unit. You know why this is important? You don't have to run around to all these different agencies, because when you want to build a house, you want approvals, you have to get fire, water, T&Tech, town and country, health, regional corporation, All of this you have to run all over Trinidad. By the time you're done, all your money done. So we will have to bring it under an umbrella as a one-stop shop. As a one-stop shop. This will, of course, bring down prices. It will also lessen the time it takes to get all these approvals. So you wouldn't have to go all over, as I say, one-stop shop. My goal is to obtain provisional approvals within 45 to 60 days when you put the first application in. And with final approvals, along with completion certificates within again 45 to 60 days. Bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. Currently, the system is very corrupt. Projects being stalled for years. By 5 years, thank you. By streamlining these approval systems, we can make more land and housing stock available, and so increase supply in relation to demand and driving down the costs. Also, by shortening the entire project time, developers and builders can reduce costs and pass on, guess what, the lower costs, the lower prices to those of you who want to own a home. The UNC will also reinvigorate the Land for Landless program. Land for Landless initiative. This was an excellent initiative under my government. It greatly benefited many low-income individuals. And so I say, we shall reinvigorate the Land for Landless program. We will also collaborate with private developers to develop state lands for sale to citizens at affordable prices. As I move on, we have more to come. When UNC wins, education also wins. Teachers will benefit. Teachers will benefit from the introduction of a financial incentive program for dedicated and high-performing teachers based on students' exam results. Not whether you're a good teacher, bad teacher, lazy teacher, indifferent teacher, same pay. So we will introduce a financial incentive. We will bring up this financial incentive, and that's what is an incentive for you to perform better. And when they perform better, teachers, our students will perform better. Not only teachers will benefit, students will benefit when the UNC wins, because we will introduce an anonymous anti-bullying app, which will allow our students to report incidents as well as to implement parent patrols in all schools. This is where the parents of children, students enrolled in a school, they should spend at least one day at the school of their child, working with the deans, working with the teachers, working with the TTPS and student support services to see what goes on and to help to maintain discipline in our schools. Parents should see what teachers have to deal with daily. Students will also win when the UNC win. Free, mandatory, annual physical and medical screening. Mandatory physical and medical screening by state-approved public and private medical doctors to examine for physical abuse, to examine for substance abuse, sexual abuse, malnutrition and diseases, mandatory screening for our students. We will also offer after-school meals for children who apply to participate in the school feeding program. We will consider a multivitamin supplement be provided to our children with their meal. Malnutrition is a main cause of poor learning. So we will fix it, Philip. We'll fix that too. Communities will win when the UNC wins. We shall have community mediation services, free counseling sessions, parental support groups for single parents and victims of family violence. There can be peer mediation. Parenting workshops we shall establish to address parent-child conflict, parental rejection, parental communication, proper parental supervision, and identification of criminal behaviors in children. The UNC will fund faith-based community mentoring and guidance programs. Every community has a place of worship. Every community has a place of worship. We will work with the various faiths and see if we can open every day after school from 2:30 to 6:30, and also on Saturdays and Sundays, open these places of worship as a community workshop, homework center, community homework and activity center. A UNC government will provide funding for meals and student supplies and pay a stipend to staff who can be drawn from the congregations in the communities, community elders, volunteers, teachers and parents to help with these after-school centers and weekend centers. This way, we can integrate the parents, the school, the community, and religious bodies into guidance and mentoring for all our students and into our children's lives. I go further. Through the Ministry of Local Government, all local government councillors will be required to oversee the formation of a community support council in each planning district or PD in the electoral district, community support groups. I chose this manner because the boundaries are already there. Local government boundaries are already there, already delineated, and the demographic data is already present. These community support councils will act like the old village council to provide guidance, mentorship, and support to children, young adults, and parents. And they can also serve as a direct link to police and government representatives. I say prominent persons of good character will administer the community support councils from within the area. The aim is to integrate children, citizens more effectively, to prevent marginalization and encourage communities to directly affect, monitor, and regulate their own development. These community councils will also be assisted with a stipend from government. So I'm telling you, all these plans, I know you want the hype and you want the noise, we'll get there. But we are laying out the blueprint for when you put us into government to improve the quality of your life, the quality of the lives of your children, and of all of Trinidad and Tobago. I say again, we did not sit in a room behind closed doors and come up with these plans and policies. That's what the others do. They go to Hyatt and they stay behind closed doors, and up to now they can't give you a single original innovative plan. We didn't do that. We were meeting with you every week, you remember that? Every week we had consultations. We were meeting with you, hearing what you had to say, listening to what you want from a government. And that is why I say we listen and then we lead. And therefore, when the UNC wins, everybody wins. Everybody wins. I talked to you now about 10 years. 10 years and nothing. I say, thirdly, you may ask why you should ignore the PNM and what they are promising now. Why should you ignore them? What they couldn't do in 10 years, my love, they can't do with any one more day. What they couldn't do in 10 years, don't believe them. Remember I told you, PNM promises never materialize. You're still waiting for those promises, aren't you? Let me tell you something. Where's the promised plywood factory? Where's the PNM's sandals? Where's the PNM's Toko Highway? Why are we not hearing about the Toko Port? Where's Nikon and Dragon Gas? Dead. Where are the VAT refunds and workers' back pay? Where is the Forex? Where is the roadmap to recovery? When the PNM outsmarted eater food elites, fake elites, and pseudo-intellectuals, where is it? Between 2015 and 2024, Kevin I see is here will tell you, oil production decreased by 32%. Natural gas production decreased by 32% as well. LNG production decreased by 39%. Ammonia production decreased by 20%. Drilling activity decreased by 57%. Energy sector GDP decreased by 31%. Jobs in the sector decreased by 49%. And on top of that, refinery throughput was shut down. Shut down. Shut down. By whom? Stuart T. Don't forget, he was the Minister of Energy now. Don't forget, he's still the Minister of Energy. And energy, the energy sector and Petrotrin, that was the geese that was laying the golden eggs for us. That is where the forex was accumulating for us. Did you know, Stuart Tong, remember, he negotiated gas prices with multinational executives in Houston. Remember that? He was outsmarted and sent home, let a boy go home. After he renegotiated prices in the sector, Kevin reminds me, increased. That was a negotiation. He wants to tell us now about negotiating with international partners. Look, boy, catch yourself. Catch yourself, young man. You cannot do it. The last time you did it, you failed. So I say on the 28th, vote UNC and the coalition of interests. Today, the Point Lisa's industrial estate is partially shut. Our citizens are being forced to pay higher electricity rates due to the disastrous gas price. That's what happened when he negotiated. The gas price, because of that, you now have to pay more for electricity. There is also the dreaded PNM property tax. There's also the PNM increase in water, fuel, and food prices. I'd like to pause here. You remember the man who raised prices at the pump? How many times? JJ told us. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, 4 times. And he sits laughing on a big couch. These fellas actually like couches, and we'll talk about those things. I'm not going there tonight. Sitting on this big white couch, and he say, they ain't riot yet. On voting day, come out and riot with your voting figure and vote them out. Vote them out. Vote them out. And I see the ex-Minister of Finance, the new Minister of Public Utilities, he's saying, well, water rates won't go up and electricity not going up. And he said, there will be no immediate increase. You know what I mean? After election, it's fire, it's high prices, and they will raise it. He said, no immediate increase. We don't believe a word you say, none. They are planning to take away your pensions. They're creating a dictatorial, cashless society. They're stagnating your salaries. They're cutting jobs and taking away your rights, your freedoms, and your privileges. They destroyed the foreign used car industry. Can I pause there? You remember Mr. Pandey? You remember Mr. Pandey, the former leader of the UNC? It was under Mr. Pandey's government that whole foreign use industry was developed so that people could get benefit, the working man to benefit. They have killed the foreign used car industry. Why? Because they want to help the big boys, the big conglomerates to sell their new vehicles. They provide forex to fake elites, but they starve the small and medium enterprises. They starve regular citizens, not giving them any forex. You know it, the few of you who happen to go to the bank, you're not getting it. They put it into the hands of the fake elites and starve you. They pass laws to force citizens to cede control of your own money to the banks. And then the banks come with these high fees. Want to force you to put your money in the bank, and then you are extorted. There's extortion with high fees in return. We will fix that, Philip. Together we will fix it. They put VAT on 7,000 food items. They were VAT-free under my watch. When I was Prime Minister, removed the VAT on food items. They come with a 6 for 9, and they say we will reduce it from 15 to 12. But the sum effect, the bottom line, was that 7,000 food items you never pay VAT, you have to pay for under this wicked government. And you know what they did? They have moved to concentrate our nation's food and medical supplies into the hands of the financiers because they give the disproportionate, not proportionate allocation of forex. So the smaller businesses can't get it. You give the big boys it, and they concentrate food imports, medical imports. Devesh spoke about it. There's a cartel for importation of these things. Their policies are always meant to benefit the fake elites. Whilst in every budget they throw you a little crumb. There's another word we're afraid to pronounce it. It's kaka something, kakanda. They just throw you a little piece, you know? A little piece. We raise this a little bit and that a little bit. They throw you a pittance. And year upon year, again they turn out to be what? Promises never materialize. Our healthcare system saw over 5,000 deaths from COVID. Remember that? We will launch a full inquiry into what happened during the COVID period. Billions of dollars spent, and 5,000 of our citizens died. Right here in the hospital in Port of Spain, when you go to a hospital, you go there to be safe. Mothers going to have their babies. 19 babies, man, died in that hospital, in that special unit. Died. 19 babies. Anywhere else in the world, that minister would have been fired forthwith. And if I were the Prime Minister, they would have been fired forthwith immediately. That's why I tell you, these candidates going in, if you do not perform, you will be moved. We did it 2010 to 15. The opponents, they would laugh at us and say, look, she keep firing people. But if you do not perform, you will be moved. You will be moved. Death stalked our land. Crime reached an all-time high, with the 3 highest murder rates in history, in our country, was 2022, 2023, 2024, over 5,000 persons in our land murdered. 5,000. That is a track record of Stuart Young, 10-year-old Stuart Young. That is a track record. 10 years in office. We in the UNC, we tell you, we are your eyes. We are your ears. We are your hands. We are your feet. You have heard our plans. You've seen the extent of analysis of all matters. And I say, if you follow our points, if you connect them, you'll see the big picture, which is happiness, well-being, happiness, and prosperity for all. For all. For all. This is our UNC. This is our coalition of interests. This is our country. And the people of this country are all members of our great family. So, as I close, I say, let us bring back happiness in our lives. Let us bring back happiness in your lives. Public services, we will find the money to give you your salary increases. Never fear. What you have to do is go out on April 28th and put your X next to the rising sun. Put your X next to the PEP candidate. Put your X next to the COP candidate. Put your X next to the Love candidate. And together, everyone will win. Public servants, I say, we will find the back pay to pay you. We will get that Petrotrin refinery restarted. Crime will be under control because the UNC has anti-crime plans. And so, we will have the power, you see. We don't just have the plan, you know. We have the manpower and the woman power to execute the plans. So never fear. We will make sure you have water in your taps. We will work to bring down food prices. There will be no more property tax. Property tax. Property owners will save because your landlord, also your rents. Landlord will have to raise rent because of property tax. So your rent will be as is. You don't have to increase rents. Forex, we will make Forex available as best as we can to the average citizen. So you can shop online. I'm told another bank today has decreased the limit on the credit cards. Anybody knows? Which bank? Well, you know which one. So a bank has decreased your credit card limit. So we will try to fix that, Philip, together, so they can shop online. You know, a mother told me once when they talked about the Forex, and she said that is not just for big shot people, you know. If you have 4 and 5 children, and they buy these things online, the prices are so much lower than if you buy it in Trinidad. So they could go on Amazon. I'm not advertising for Amazon, by the way. They go on to online companies, and they could clothe their children. For the price of all of those, you might get 2 in Trinidad. That is something we have to fix too. Not just by giving the Forex, but we have to create the manufacturing industries so that we can do more of that here in Trinidad and Tobago. We will create new jobs. Children have access to the technology they deserve. Citizens will be able to monetize social media. We'll stop the PNM from taking away your old age pensions. Don't ever forget that. Don't forget. The CDAP and all the medicines covered by CDAP will be revamped, and we'll continue the CDAP program. I tried to get from your doctors last time. You couldn't tell me how old is that formulary of medications. Very old. We have to revise. The technology changes day by day so that we can bring in under the CDAP medications for you. The Cover Children's Hospital will be opened. Let us protect our children and mothers. And don't forget, that Cover Hospital was not only for children, it was also for mothers. I think them 19 deaths would have happened if we had that NICU up and running in the Cover Hospital. And there was also people working in the estate, the Plipdeco estate, Burns and so on. It was close by. So they have no vision. They have no reach. They have no mission. to have kept that hospital closed for 10 years. A state-of-the-art hospital for you. A state-of-the-art hospital that could have brought foreign exchange, because the entire Caribbean and the CARICOM, they would have been able to come right here for medical treatment and pay for it. So for the length of time this government has been in office, the only big idea they had was how to find ways to take more money out of your pocket. That's the only thing they were doing, tax upon tax. Remember, my government did not introduce a single new tax, not one. And we were able to build the 106 schools. We were able to build the hospitals, the San Fernando Teaching Hospital, the Cougar Children's Hospital, so much more that we could have done. Take me too long tonight, but other nights we'd share. And again, I say, go on our websites, go on our Facebook. All they have done is defaulted to the most abhorrent part of human beings, laziness. So they find the quickest way, borrow, tax, and spend, rather than coming up with the ideas to drive the economy. Their idea of national income is to take your money. That is rank laziness. They should be punished. They should be punished for that. And they will be on April 28th. So, on April 28th, election day, several persons have told you, repeated, I'm saying to you, do not go to work. Get up early. Head to the polling station. Cast your votes for the UNC and the coalition of interests. And when you finish voting, come back and help bring out more voters on that day. Use your vehicles if you have one and carry everyone you know to vote. And use your phones to help organize and call out people. We need you on election day to be our ground army. I always say, and you say too, when the UNC wins, everybody wins. And I repeat, as I always tell you, half of me belongs to you. The other half I give to you, because why? You will have had leaders before me. You will have leaders after me, but you will never, ever have a leader who loves you as much as I do. May God bless you all. May God continue to bless each and every one of you. I thank you very much.
UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinidad going. Everybody wins, everybody wins. Vote for peace, vote for love, vote for
candidates. Will the candidates please come on stage? Candidates, please come on stage. Candidates.
Yo. Yeah. Yeah.
When UNC win,
Everybody wins.
everybody's a winner. When UNC win,
Trinidad going.
everybody
wins. Everybody
Put your X next to the rising sun.
Tell the neighbor, tell a friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, it's time to unite. If you want leaders who can win, it takes by the rising sun. If you want leaders who can
Lead properly,
it takes by the rising sun. On the UNC win, everybody wins. When UNC win, Trinidad wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
Hey, come on.
20 past 10 years, you know we
holy faith. Now the whole place gone in the proper state. It's only hardship under the Balize. Now the UNC come here to save the day. So remember when the election come, put your eggs by the rising sun. Because I win for UNC. It's a win for Tian when the election day. Vote UNC. One love, one team. One hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team. One hope, one dream. When UNC win, hey, everybody wins. When UNC win, Trinidad wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Vote for love. Vote for hope. Vote for change. When UNC win, everybody wins. When UNC win, Trinidad wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody. When UNC win, everybody wins. When UNC win, everybody wins. On April 28th, wins. Everybody wins. What's the act? By the rising sun. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, it's time to decide. If you want leaders who can live properly, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who can live properly, place your ex by the rising sun. Let's see win. Everybody wins. When UNC win, Trinidad wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. For the past 10 years, now the whole faith, the whole place turning on the power state. It's only hardship on the Balize. Now the UNC come here to save the day. So remember on election come, put the X by the rising sun. Because I win for UNC. Hey, it's a win for Tianti. Sunday, vote UNC. One love, one team. One hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one dream. One hope, one dream. When UNC win, everybody win. When UNC win, Trinidad wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Vote for love. Vote for love. Vote for change. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinidad wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Hey, hey. Everybody wins. Swap it, swap it. You're the corner like you're a candidate. You're like a candidate there. June. Hey, make sure the talk is done now. Time to start back the work now. All the talk done, all the talk done. Work nation!
We fed up by these people and only bag of lies. And everything that they're doing wrong, they're trying to disguise.
Always pointing fingers, never wanna take the blame.
We frustrated now, don't want no more, and we ain't taking it again.
Talk done. Let's get to work again, cause we're sick of them and the lies. Talk done. Let's get to work again, cause the country needs to shine.
Talk done. Let's get to work again. Come on, people, you know it's true.
Talk done.
Let's get to work again, cause the UNC works for you. Come on.
From there we start the engine. UNC have the plan to build a brighter future forward Green Island. Come on everybody, and you know it's true. It's time to start work again, and the UNC works for you.
Work nation to the world.
All these years of pressure, agony and pain,
but we work with them and we cope with them and we feel the blunt of the street.
Now we the people start crying out, we can't take it no more. So election day when you ink your fingers, UNC you're voting for.
Let's get to work again, cause we're sick of them on the line. Let's get to work again, cause the country needs to shine.
Let's get to work again. Come on, people, you know it's true. Let's get to work again, cause the UNC works for you.
Come let we start the engine. UNC have the plan to build a brighter future for Twin Island. Come on everybody, and you know it's true. It's time to start work again and the UNC works for you.
World nation, this is how we work. Come on, tell them what we do with.
We don't talk the talk, we just walk the walk. We don't make no joke when it's time to work.
Katrina,
We don't talk the talk,
what you say?
we just walk the walk.
Tell them.
We don't make no joke when it's time to work. Let's get to work again, cause we're sick of them on the line. Let's get to work again, cause the country needs to shine.
Let's get to work again. Come on, people, you know it's true. Let's get to work again, cause the UNC works for you.
Come let we start the engine. UNC have the plan to build a brighter future for Twin Island. Come on everybody, and you know it's true. It's time to start work again and the UNC works for you. Talk done. Talk done. Talk one.
Work nation.
At the time, I didn't have access to a laptop and my mom couldn't afford it. But thankfully to the UNC government, I was able to have access to one, and it was so much easier to not have to worry about sending in my assignments on time. And I'm so grateful. Thanks, Auntie Cams. When UNC wins, everybody wins.